In this episode, I am going to solve two problems which have been going on for a while now, and for that I will make an ore processing system with a blast furnace, and I am going to finally do my storage system and just build a little bit. So stay with me and let's see how this will turn out. Hey everyone, I am Azu and welcome back to the 6th episode of All You Can Build, because if you can dream it, you can build it. So as you can see, another bunch of things happened in the meantime. I have set it up both of my trucks that are going to the truck factory and going to the anthracite alloy factory. Oh yeah, I just wanted to show you the interior of this anthracite alloy factory. It is a pretty big machinery, and the factory itself works well, pretty interestingly, but yeah, this also requires a rework in the future. So to process any kind of ores, I have to have crushing wheels, these big boys, and then I will receive a nugget of experience with 75% chance, and then I will get a crushed road zinc. After that, I can either wash it to get an extra item, which is gunpowder in case of crushed road zinc, but basically I can just blast it with a fan, and I think I'm going to do that. For sure in the future I will use mechanism, because I can do ore tripling with mechanism, but I am just not there yet. So let's grab everything and set up this ore crushing and blasting factory. Alright, so I already have the crushing wheels, and I am going to just collect everything that I will need. I will need a fan, an encased fan. I will need a disenchanter, and I will need some basic create stuff. And I am planning to put this right around here because this is so empty, and I have built a lot of things already on that side, and this side is pretty empty, as you can tell. So I think I'm going to do it here, and hopefully it will not overstimulate this area. And I am also planning to place the storage house somewhere here. So let's get into it. Alright, so let's start with the simple things. I am going to set up the belt first, which is going to crush it down. Right? I have to have 2 vertical gearboxes to operate the crushing wheels, like so. Now I'm going to place here the chest, which is going to be the input of the whole system. I'm going to place a brass funnel on the back of it because, well, at first it can drop a stack of items, and it is also pretty convenient, especially if you can make it and it's not a big effort, then just use the brass funnel. Alright, it is getting crushed here, and after that I'm going to create another belt because I want this belt to go slower than the previous one. So I'm just going to place it like so. I'm placing down the fans right here. Alright, just extend it with one. I cannot believe it. I still cannot believe it. You have no idea that between episodes how many creepers have blew into my face. And I just started to pray for a kitty slippers, because the kitty slippers are something pretty nice things. These are the kitty slippers, and the way you can get it is to go on adventures and to find it in chests. But now I do not have these kitty slippers. And the main idea behind the kitty slippers is the one that you can read underneath the name. Creepers avoid the wearer. I need creepers to avoid me in 100 blocks radius because I am so angry of them. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I don't know how many holes I did fill because of creepers. Right, let's try this again. And I better sleep because something bad is going to happen. I can feel it. I can feel it. Alright, I've placed down the water wheels. These are 12 water wheels, and now I just have to hook it up. I can see that I cannot have a single minute of rest. Another creeper. Alright, so this is done. The belt is going the right way, and the crushing wheels are turning or rotating to the correct way. So now I just have to make this to be a part of this contraption as well, and just slow it down. Alright, I have to check if this will be enough. Okay, it's going so much slower for sure. And let's go down to get some lava. Okay, I have arrived. This is my really chaotic mine. Here are a lot of things. I've mined all these deep slates from here, and there is a skeleton for sure. Because all the buildings required a lot of deep slates for the roofs. And although I've used vein mine for mining out these deep slates, it was mainly because I didn't want to waste too much time, and I wanted to keep up with the pace to make the videos in time. Alright, let's see. It works, but the question is it slow enough to blast? Alright, let's see. It is crushing it. Okay, that's good. That's always going to be successful. Oh, okay, so the experience is also smelted, so I have to do something. All right, okay, let's work on this. And I think I'm going to use another speed controller. All right, so at first I'm going to place down a storage here, like this barrel, and I'm going to filter out the experiences. So, and I'm going to place the disenchanter here, and for sure I'm going to extract the experience from the disenchanter. Or maybe I'm going to extend it with one, so I can use this bell for powering it like this. And then I am just going to place a fluid tank here, which will collect all the experiences. Alright, I am just going to use the precision mechanism factory, which I made in the previous episode, just to demonstrate how this works. And I need a lot of precision mechanisms, so yeah, it has to be done anyway. So I'm placing the golden sheets here, and as you can see, it is placing everything accordingly and going round and around until it's finished. Right, I managed to make 3, and this will be enough for now. Right, so now let's try again this slower belt, like so. I want to place it not like this, but like this, so I can place this thing right here, and place this shaft here and this gearbox here, which works perfectly. And I can set the speed of this whole contraption. I cannot access it maybe from here, but yeah, it should be good. And now I have to see that what is the minimum speed that is required so that everything can be smelted. Right, let's try 5 right now. Place it like so. Alright, and let's see if it works. Maybe it's too fast. No, it's perfect. It's actually perfect. Alright, so this is how it should go. And the last thing is the item vault, which will collect everything accordingly. And the final touch is like this. So I have made a drawer monstrum here. Oh, it's not a monstrum actually, because it's just 3x4, but it's still a little bit bigger than I wanted it to be. So yeah, I'm going to collect all these things right here, and for sure I am going to decorate this whole thing because, well, it doesn't look so good. But now it's time to speed this whole thing up. Okay, so it's 187. That's pretty cool. Oh, I also have spirit taking. It's liquid experience. Well, oh yeah, because I just stepped on it. All right. So now I'm just going to, yeah, it's slow. It's 16 still, so it works. All right. So if I just step here, yeah, as you can see, it started to drain my experience, and yeah, everything is here in this tank. So now I am about to test if it works, right? I just found some ores, and let's see. Let's just do it with 4. Okay, I think it should work now. It is at 2 speed, which is hilarious. It's so small amount that I don't know if it will ever work. Oh yeah. Oh yes, it does. All right, so maybe for 64 the 3 should be enough. So now it's time to decorate it. Now I just found a Tasmanian devil, and it looks like this little guy is a bit stubborn because it doesn't want to come with me. It sits, it lays, it does everything but to follow me. So now I am going to tie you here. All right, I am just going to let this guy go because its sound is so frustrating, and it's so loud. Please go away. Go away. I cannot even think about anything with this noise. Alright, so now it's time to make the storage room, and I am going to make this a special thing because I have shared a lot of builds from me on the Create Reddit group, and a lot of people said that I actually built some nice stuff, and I was so delighted that someone gave me this kind of feedback. It meant a lot to me. And so now I am willing to make a tutorial kind of thing of how I'm usually building the builds, because sometimes you can only see just a schematic cannon building up the whole thing, and sometimes I just cut through the whole thing and I don't show anything about how I build the buildings. So now I am willing to just a step-by-step thing. For sure, if you are a really good builder and you have done a lot of cool things and you think that you have nothing to learn actually, then feel free to skip it, because I have timestamps here. But I always think about these kind of things, that it's always good to learn something. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do now. So I always start off with the foundations. So the foundations in my case are these pillars or trims, or call it whatever you want to. These mainly oak trees, but it can be stripped spruce as well. I love to use these on my buildings because look at that. That's just how I do my builds. I always use these brownish tree textures to give a trim, to give an accent to my building. I always use the power of mathematics here, because I love to count. I love to give a purpose to my building. So I place down 1, for example, here, and I start to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I love to use odd numbers because they are always working out, and they have always been worked out for me. So I always use odd numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and there, because it is so much easier to make it more symmetric, in my opinion. And then I just do the whole thing to the shape that I want to have for my building. All right, so at first this is what I have planned. It's all 5 spaces. Right here it's just 3. And right here it's just 7, because I am willing to make an arch here, so you know, people can go through here without entering the house, and I can come along from this area to walk here and just to walk to this shore. And the main thing is that I always like to give a story to my buildings, so a purpose basically. Let's put it that way. And some functions. So for example, if I place an arch here, at first it will look really good. And the second thing is that, well, you can pass through the building, you can pass underneath the building, because if I were to build the whole building right here, it will be pretty difficult to go through this area, because here is the bison runout and here is the house, and it's all just solid blocks, and I had to jump around like here, and that's not really convenient. So yeah, that's a main purpose. That's the first purpose that I am thinking about when I'm trying to make a house. I am willing to raise it just a little bit more, because there are leverage differences, right? And since there are leverage differences, I am always willing to connect these whole things at first, so everything will get on the same level. Well, because this right here, if I finish the connection right here, then it will be just a flat surface with flooring. So yeah, basically that's another idea that I always love to use. And the reason why I place overhanging oak blocks here on top of every pillars is because, well, you can always build a house with overhanging blocks, because they are connecting to each other, they are overlapping each other, and yeah, it just looks so much better. And it is also another purpose, or maybe another straightforward thing, or let's say it makes sense, because well, it gives more stability to the house. Even though it's Minecraft and stability is not a thing, then you always can think about something which is not a real thing in Minecraft, but actually a real smart thing to think about. And after it's done, you can for sure connect all the things to make some kind of bracket, let's say that. So as you can see, this is the foundation, this is the base of the whole building. I am maybe over explaining this, but I want to give you a really good idea of how I make my buildings. And for sure, you can always decorate your trims. I selected this way this time because I don't know, it looks just better, and I wanted to use spruce stairs because I have a ton of it. And I also love to make these arches, or let's say, these rounded corners. So I have this one, which is just a spruce stair and spruce trapdoors, and I have another one, which is this one. It's 2 spruce stairs, actually 3. One is in the basic position, one is upside down, and the other is like this, sideways. And I also place the spruce slab here and the spruce trapdoor and spruce trapdoor underneath it. So it's for bigger scales and it's for the smaller ones. It also works with 3 longs. And I've also made this rocky, stony base part for this, which could be concrete if I was thinking with a modern head. But back in the time, it was rock and stones. And I've used these 3 blocks. It's a sanded stone, it's rounded stone bricks, and lace stone bricks. This is all from chips. And I'm also really into detailing these horizontal parts. And since I want the roof to be made out of walnut slab, I think this would work here pretty well, like so. And it also gives a better accent, let's say that. It has a different saturation, so it looks so much better. Like in my starting house, go all the way around. And this is pretty much it for the foundation and the base. And now it's time to make the first floor. So what I am willing to do here is make this part very, very tall and make mostly out of glass. So it would be a wall with full of glass. I'm going to show it to you what I'm actually thinking about. And I think it's going to be a really amazing addition, and it's going to just break it from being too boring. And yeah, I will do this really tall, glassy kind of part, and I am also willing to make just a small, not too tall, a little short section here with the roof for sure. And right here, make it like a stair, so this one be taller and this one will be a little bit shorter. I maybe twist it a little bit since it is on the top of this passage, but yeah, I'm just going to plan out the whole thing. Because at this point, the most important thing that you have to do when you have done with the foundations and you are actually building the structure itself is to give it a shape. So basically, if you don't know where to start, you should always think about a cube and modify the cube. So for example, let's think about that cube is pretty easy to modify, and you can just drag out parts and you can push in parts. And so, you know, it's just a basic cube, and it depends on you how you would like to basically modify it. And that's the main idea. That's the first point. That's the starting point. So let's take this example. Here is a cube. Yeah, it's pretty much a boring house, let's say that. I mean, it can be beautiful for sure, but it's just a cube. But what you can do is you can actually drag out a part and make something like this. All right? It doesn't look so bad. Or maybe you can just pull in a part, so it has this, I don't know, this part which is covered with the second. And then for sure you can place the roof on top, maybe like this, or you can actually leave it from here, and just, you know, make the house look like this. And I think it looks pretty nice. And the main thing is that you have to break the surface. You have to break the boringness of a house, and you know, just play around with it. I know if you're not building a lot of houses, then it's pretty hard to do at first, but it all takes just practice. After you have done a lot of houses like this, your imagination will automatically just click in, and you will be able to build any kind of houses you would like to. But it's always so, if you would like to just take everything easier, then the first point that you can easily do is just think about a cube and try to modify it, and maybe add balconies to that cube, maybe push in like I did here with this arch. And you can always modify it because it's a sandbox game. Basically, you don't have unlimited, well, basically you have unlimited, but you don't have creative things here in survival. But this is basically a sandbox game. You can do whatever you want, and you always have to keep in mind that your imagination is the only thing that can stop you from building big things and amazing things. And so I think this is how it should always be done. If you just would like to make it step by step, if you don't want to immediately cut into building a house like I do. But I do it because I am doing it for almost 10 years now, so I had a lot of time to practice. Basically, that's the only thing. But I've also started with building a cube and then adding details to it. So for example, if you are building just a wall, yeah, it's a pretty boring wall, right? Yeah, it's just stone bricks. what you can do now is basically add, for example, this lettuce to it. I've just found it in my inventory, but as you can see, yeah, it's a bit odd from this texture, but you can basically add a lot of things. You can maybe put down these spruce stairs, right? It gives just a little accent to it. Or the other really simple thing, the fences. You can place fences here, and you know, I know it's pretty simple, but these things can be game changers to break everything from boringness. So I'm going to build the first floor now, and I will show you what are the plans for this whole building. Alright, so briefly, this is what I was thinking about, and I was keeping in mind. For sure I have to add these overhanging woods for the parts where these are missing, but basically this is how I could describe my idea. So as you can see, it's not a cube. The surface is broken. So shorter part, I think it has the same height. It is a bit taller, and this is the tallest, and it even has a rounded top. So, you know, it's just how I would like to alternate between heights and shapes. Alright, so since it is all done, I've inserted the wall. So as you can see, these are just plain walls, which could be a bit boring. I've added the windows. I made them a little bit slanted, so these are not just some holes on the wall. And now, as I mentioned, it is time to make some decorations. So for example, you can consider doing like a little fence wall which is splitting the whole thing. You can do it like so. For example, this looks something that breaks the surface basically, and you can always add some nice details. And after some detailings, it is time to place the glasses and the roof. The roof is pretty easy. There are many shapes and ways that you can build a roof. I would leave this one to you because I'm also not a really great roof builder. I'm just doing what I can do, but sometimes, most of the times, it is not really beautiful. So I would like to leave it to you, so you can experiment with it. It's another good practice that you can experiment with the best roof, and each and every houses require different roofs. So for example, here, this tower has this pointy, almost like a pyramid shaped roof. This one is like a little bit flatter than for example, than this one. This is also a flat one. Right here I have this half roof, and here this is also a really pointy, but it's not like a pyramid, but yeah, it is really high. And now it's time to make them. Alright, so I am done with the building. As you can see, I have added a lot of details like these banisters, and I have made the roofs and the windows as well. The roofs were a bit harder, and I follow this pattern that 1 2 2 3 3, which is you know, an ascending order, and I think it just gives more character to the roofs, right? And I've also made some windows, and I think it turned out pretty well. For sure, if you have any kind of questions regarding the building process and how I do it, feel free to do it in the comments, and I am more than happy to answer all your questions. And as you can see, I've cleared up this whole chest monster from here, and I will need to make a road from here to there. And to do that, I am willing to make a mud farm. I saw this farm idea from UncleRanger. I will put down his video to the description. Shout out to him. It is an amazing farm. And now I am going to show you how it works. For that, I will need drills, deployer, plow, a minecart, a cart assembler, and a smart observer. And for sure, 2 mechanical arms and a mechanical crafter. Alright, let's see it. I'm going to start off right around here and place a storage drawer here, and then place a deployer here, and then place this funnel here, which I have to set to drop items here. And there is another thing that I have to set, is to make it exactly 2. The second thing is just a basic cobblestone generator, which I'm really used to by now. I'm gonna place the water here and the lava here. Place down a drill. I'm gonna place down the mechanical crafters. Place a deployer on top facing that way. Set these crafters to collect everything. and deploy it to the deployer. Oh yeah, I forget the millstone. All right, I'll be right back. All right, I brought this back and down with one, and now it's time to set these things to deposit items here and to take from here, because this is how the coarse dirt's recipe is going to look like. And I'm going to just tell you the main purpose of this machine and how this works. But the thing is that we have to make coarse dirt so we can turn that into dirt, basically. But I'm going to show you right. And right here, I have to set it to coarse dirt and give it the coarse dirt and put a smart chute here. It also has to filter to coarse dirt. So whenever there is coarse dirt, then this is going to light up. I'm placing a rail here. I am placing this cart assembler here and placing a cart. I'm going to set it to lock rotation. I'm going to place a block here. Oh, you know, actually I have to switch it to this way. So the arrow is pointing that way. And now I can just do this like so. I actually have to bring it back with one additional block. All right, now let's see. Yep, as you can see, it turned the coarse dirt to a simple dirt. And I will need another drill here and place another drawer here with a hopper on the back and just make another depot here, like so. And now I am able to place down the second mechanical arm. I have to take items from here and place here. So now it looks like everything is done. Let's hook this whole contraption together, make it a little bit more beautiful, and then I'm going to tell you how this thing works, because this is amazing. I mean, I think it is really smart. It is really compact. Okay, so it should work now. I hooked this whole thing up together and let's see if it works. It actually does, and it produces coarse dirt, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, it does. And it just makes dirt. So the idea behind this is that we are technically doubling the dirt that is used to make coarse dirt. So basically the gravel is infinite since we have a cobblestone generator here. And the dirt is, well, a coarse dirt requires 2 dirt blocks. And it makes 4 coarse dirts. So 4 coarse dirt plowed with this plow is going to give you 4 simple dirt. So now I am just going to speed this whole thing up because I have the option to do that. And let's see. Okay, so 91 is the best. And yeah, it looks like it works. It looks like it works. It's pretty loud, to be fair. I don't know if I have a muffler or something in this mod pack that can just make this a little bit less noisy. But this is how it works. I don't know what is the current production amount. So just another thing, in case of the interior of my storage house, everything is set it up here. There are a lot of chests and I've placed these decorational blocks and I think it turned out pretty well. So thank you all so much for watching this video. It means a lot to me. I hope I could help you. And as I mentioned, if you have questions regarding the builds, then feel free to ask anything. I am more than happy to help, and I'm willing to help everyone with any kind of problems. I mean, any kind of questions in case of building. But I couldn't done it without you guys. So thank you once again. Take care, everybody, and see you in the next episode. Bye bye.